Okay folks, we're back. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a keto-friendly coleslaw, but it's going to be a pastrami coleslaw. We're going to make this a little bit different. The recipe is going to be on the website, but it's very, very simple. You see just a very few ingredients. We like to use a few ingredients, but we like to add flavor to it. So we're going to add all these little things that are going to add that little hint of flavor. And why are we doing that? Because we're going to make you better than your neighbor. How we're going to get started? We're going to take our big bowl. As you see, I love my big double wall bowl. These are hammer style, and they're hammered bowls on the outside, smooth finish on the inside. I love those a lot. Head of cabbage. I've already cut one side. Why did I cut one side? Because I want it to lay flat. And the reason being is because if I do it like so, and I get this big vegetable cleaver, and I start cutting, it's going to rock and roll, and I have a problem. So what I do is I cut one side off, and I'm going to cut it, just set it so it sets flat, and it's set flat on the cutting board. Now you notice my cutting board is moving around. If this is an issue for you, what you do is remove your cutting board, take a paper towel, get it a little bit damp, set it down, and put your cutting board on top of it. It creates a friction, and it will not slide on you. I don't care if mine moves today or not, so we're not going to worry about that. But it's just a little tip for you at home. So I've got my big bowl, but I've got my head of cabbage. So we're going to take our cabbage, and I left the core in. And as you can see, the core's still in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vegetable cleaver. This is my hammer style vegetable cleaver. I love this thing. It's got a little bit of curve to it so that it will slice and dice. It's not like a regular square bottom meat cleaver. So it's a vegetable cleaver. We're going to come back to it, and I'm going to look where my core is, because I don't want my core. And I'm going to cut it just like so. Now if I really want to get carried away, I can come back to this side, just like so, lay it down, and voila, there's my core gone. We've got that out of the way. Nothing but cabbage. We're going to set this out because I'll have plenty here. I'm going to take this. Now it calls for julienne. So to do that, you're just going to slice it close like so. I don't want my coleslaw long stringy pieces. I want it to be a bite size. So I'm going to add it like this. Now anytime I have something on my knife blade or I use my knife, I can scoop it straight up. As long as I keep my knife blade at an angle in contact, I'll never cut myself. So I can slide stuff right up on my blade, and when I do, I take it, but I slide down to the blade, not from the blade up or across the blade. I start at the top and slide down. And if I do, I can clean my knife blade off. Just a little tip at home so that you don't get yourself hurt. We're going to make the dressing for this now, and it calls for dill pickles. Again, I'm going to get my other hammer style bowl. Now, if this was glass, you'd be able to see everything in it, but in this case, you don't need to. You just need to know we're adding the ingredients. So we're going to add, and you'll see the recipe on the website, we're going to add some pickles. We're going to use some apple cider vinegar. We're going to use a little bit of sugar to balance out the acidity of the vinegar. And then we're going to come back, and this is avocado mayo. So we're going to use that for a healthy start. And then we're just going to mix this, give it a nice mix. The secret recipe is going to be the Becky Sue rub. Because if you want to be better than your neighbor, you have to have the Becky Sue rub. We're going to take the Becky Sue rub, we're going to sprinkle that on there. Oh, what the heck, put some in there too. So anyway, we've got that. That's going to make you better than your neighbor. That's good on everything. I put it on scrambled eggs, potato chips, popcorn. But one thing I want to warn you, do not put it in your eye. Ask me how I know that. Whoa, you won't do it but once. For those that are considering keto, this is something you want to consider. And you can see how messy a cook I am. A lot of these things, you know, a lot of these shows, they cut and they edit. We refuse to do that because we want you to see that it is easy to make, it's easy to do, but it's also easy to make a mess at home. And we don't want to try to hide anything from you. We just want to let you know that it is easy to make. Now, to finish that off, we have pastrami and Swiss cheese. So we're going to come back now, again with our vegetable cleaver. We're going to dice. Then we're going to just take this, shred it, put it throughout. Pastrami you can make on your own smoker at home. We're going to do that one day, but in the meantime, you can go and do store-bought. We're going to add this to the mix. I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit of a meat eater, so why don't we do this? Why don't we do another helping? They're not going to do anything after the show's over anyway, so why don't we just use it? It was there for looks to begin with, so why don't we just use it all? So, you agree with that? I know some of you people at home are going, wow, he's got a lot in there. And then some are going, is that all you're putting in there? So, I know it's hard to keep everybody happy, but we'll do the best we can around here. So we're going to put this in, give it a good mix. We're going to let this set for just a little bit because guess what? The cabbage is crunchy right now. But if you like a crunchy cabbage, serve it right away. If you want, refrigerate it for an hour and then serve it. Stir it one last time before you serve. And then one of the things that if you want to really jazz it up and you want to be better than the neighbors, I could add a little bit of horseradish, like a tablespoon of horseradish to this whole bowl, and about a tablespoon of celery seed. That's going to jazz it up a little bit more, and it's going to give an extra flavor that nobody's going to be seeing. They're not going to be expecting it coming out of here. So you can do it one of two ways. You can do it just like the recipe, or you can start adding to it and being better than your neighbor. Now, we get this all done. This is what it looks like. We're going to give you a close-up shot of this in just a second. But in the meantime, this is going to be your keto-friendly pastrami coleslaw. Again, it's got cabbage in it, so it's going to be your coleslaw. Avocado mayo. The recipe is on the website. And this, my friends, is going to make you better than your neighbors.